All right, guys, we are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we've got the EZA details for the physical Dokkan Fest Turles, as well as his minions here. We've also got the Diaz and Cacao, the Almond and Raisin. So we are going to go ahead and check these boys out, see what they do. I think my hope for these guys is that they, like at least the Turles, is a good substitute for the LR Turles. For those that did not pull him, that is like my biggest thing here, because these guys can't link together. You can run them on the same team, but they can't link, right? So you're gonna have to have them on like separate rotations or something like that. So let's go and let's look at what this boy is doing for his EZA, and then we will kind of figure out how we want to plug him into some of these teams. So Space Traveling Warriors, Pure Saiyan, category lead with the additional planetary destruction and low class warrior. He's got his interest animation. It's going to be activated when there's a Goku's family or Pure Saiyan category enemy, or an enemy whose name includes Gohan Kid at the start of the character's attacking turn. So that is a D to change, not from you, where it was always Goku's family enemy or Gohan. Now they basically just added in like the Pure Saiyans line here. So if you're fighting a Pure Saiyan at all, then he can still proc this. Okay, it's a little bit better. Not exactly what I was kind of hoping to see. I was hoping maybe like if all characters on your team were extreme class, or when fighting a super class enemy or something like that, something much easier to kind of proc. Fighting a Pure Saiyan, I guess it happens more often than it used to, but it's fine. This is a good change here, right? It adds more stipulations, not just limited to just Goku's family. So like if you're fighting a Vegeta, if you're fighting a Broly, if you're fighting a Trunks, if you're fighting whatever, you can still, I guess Trunks really wouldn't count because he's not Pure Saiyan. Never mind. Either way, Pure Saiyan category, this makes it a little bit easier to kind of proc here. So, you know, we can look at that. This is going to give a permanent extreme class allies key +3 attack and defense up by 18%, which is a good little buff to have for the team. I guess you could kind of get by without it. So having the entrance animation isn't going to be like critical, but this definitely will help the team out a lot. Basic effect, attack and defense up by 200%, plus 20% damage reduction. When HP is 50% or more, he gets another 100% attack, 150% defense, and launch an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. When attacking with 12 or more ki, attack up by 150%, launch additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super, and launch an additional super attack when HP is 50% or less. Then one turn, he's going to get attack up by 400% and defense up by 100%. Okay. I like that he's doing a lot of attacks. I always hate these just because like the 70% chance feels like 20% to me, at least because I have really bad luck with like additionals most times. But this is good. Now I'm hoping there's something in his passive that has to do with like the more attacks he does, right? For every super, okay, yeah, I just need to keep reading. For every super attack performed, he's gonna get extra ki, so ki +3 up to 9, 10% damage reduction up to 30, and 80% defense up to 240, and this is permanent buffs. Okay, so you can get him up to, what is this, 20%, 50% damage reduction after 3 supers. Okay. After performing 6 attacks in battle, attacks become effective against all types and launch additional super attack. Okay, so there it is. So after performing 6 attacks in battle is good as a condition because they don't have to be supers, right? So you've got the buff you get for doing supers here, but if you get really unlucky and you're just throwing out a bunch of additionals, you can still get to this pretty quick and then start launching guaranteed supers, right? So these both are very good lines to have in here. Have the super attack condition, have just the attack condition, because he's not always going to be supering until we get this fully done, and then he's always going to launch another super. So that is actually really good to have in here. When there's another Space Traveling Warriors category ally attacking it on the same turn, one time damage reduction 70% before attacking. Okay, so he can have what, 90% damage reduction like turn 1, basically, which is basically meant to help him like get time to build this up, right? Build up that 30%. Okay, so that first turn he's going to be like a wall, right? Because if you're, yeah, he doesn't have guard or anything though, does he? No guard. Okay, but I mean 90% damage reduction is really good. So 90% damage reduction turn 1 is great. Then after that, you hopefully get 3 super attacks in there. You can build this back up. That way you're at 50% from then on. And you're building up defense. You got the extra defense here for that first turn. More defense, more defense. Yeah, I think he looks really good. I mean, compared to exactly like whatever he was, because whatever he was, like he was actually a really good unit. It was just getting this like Ender's animation of proc was kind of a pain. But he's always a good unit. So they definitely just kind of like juiced him up a little bit. But I think he looks good. I think he looks very good. For his super attack, greatly raise attack, which is a stack, by the way. And raise defense for 1 turn, cause immense damage to the enemy, and recover 6% HP, which is going to be very good for that condition of needing to be above the 50% HP here, right? And then if you are having to drop below it, he is going to do an additional super. So there's that condition in there as well, which is very nice. And the healing definitely helps out like the new LR Turles, who needs to have 50% or more HP in order to guard. So definitely a good little a little thing to have there. Yeah, I think physical Turles looks good. I think he's a pretty decent like substitute for LR Turles if you don't have him, but I think he's going to run very, very well on the team with LR Turles. He just, of course, like I said, he won't be able to link up with him, which is fine. You just have him in the other rotation, but I think he's going to look good. I think he's definitely going to help out the team a little bit more here as well. I think he looks fine. Let's start looking at some of these other guys here. So Diaz and Cacao, we've got these boys here. Space Shopping Warriors lead. Then we go to their passive. P+3 attack and defense up by 250. Launch additional attack has a great chance to become a super. And change Keyseer's STR to Rainbow. Okay, so they're Rainbow Orb Changers, which is great for, again, Turles, LR Turles, who needs to have a lot of key, right, in order to do like more damage. This is going to be very good, very helpful. For 1 turn from the character's entry, launch additional super, and have 10% chance to dodge. Okay. Per Space Shopping Warrior or Terrifying Conqueror ally in the same turn, depending which one has more, 200% defense and chance to crit and dodge up by another 10%. Okay, so we're basically, I mean, you're running them on this team anyway, full of these characters. So they're going to have this like fully maxed out every time. As a second or third attacker in a turn, back up by 200%. High chance to crit and a high chance to dodge. Okay, so there's the extra crit and dodge right there, the main part of it. So you're going to have them either as a second or a floater. Yeah, I mean, for that first turn, they're going to have a lot of dodge. They look good so far. When attacking you get defense up by 200%. For every super attack you perform, attack and defense up by 50% for up to 200%. Okay. And then when there's a Space Shopping Warriors category ally attacking the same turn, which there most likely will be with a lot of Turles around, launch an additional super attack. Then all allies get key +2 attack and defense up by 30% for 2 turns when there is a planetary destruction category ally attacking the same turn. So again, like if there is a Turles on rotation, everybody gets this buff basically. Okay. I mean, Space Shopping Warrior plus planetary destruction. Yeah. These guys give good support with the orb changing, and then with this buff here for the team, and then they've got some survivability with like the dodge and all that in there. So yeah, I mean, you could basically like float this character around and just be fine. I mean, they're good for 2 turns, so you get them as a second attacker you'd be able to constantly have this up basically. But most likely you'll probably be floating these guys as like just like kind of support characters. So I mean, for what they do, I think they do fine. I think they do well. Raise attack for 4 turns, cost supreme damage to the enemy, great chance to stun. Okay, that's fine. And then let's look at our boys here. They are planetary destruction leads, attack and defense up by 250. Planetary destruction category allies key +2 and attack and defense up by 40%. Plus initial key +1, defense up by 30%, and chance to crit up by 15% for characters who also belong to space traveling warriors. Holy crap. So planetary destruction is getting the key and the attack and defense up by 40. If they're space traveling warriors, they're getting an additional key, defense, and crit chance. That's yeah, that's very good. I think that's very good. That's good. Oh boy. What was, I mean, did you already have, did he have crit built in here at all? I don't think so, right? No. So these guys will be giving Turles some crit chance that he doesn't have in here, which is good, right? You're definitely helping out that character, giving him something he didn't have. So that definitely is a good line to have in here. For 1 turn, they're going to get another 25% damage reduction. As the first attacker in a turn, they guard 20% damage reduction, a launch initial super attack with 4 or more key spheres obtained. Which, if you're running the Diaz and Cacao, they're going to orb change. So it shouldn't be too hard to get 4 key spheres. You just got to be very careful. Like, you don't want to run them at slot 1 if you're not getting this, right? Because that's going to be a major condition for them. As a second or third attacker, they get additional 200% attack, launch an additional super attack, and guard all attacks and damage reduction rate up by 10% with 4 more key spheres obtained. Yeah, they might be better suited in slot 2 or 3, just because like they'll still get the guard. I mean, the guard damage reduction is going to have the key sphere stipulation to it, whereas like the super attack becomes free. So slot 1, they got the defensive perks for free and the attack perk at a cost, whereas second or third attacker in a turn, they've got the attack perks for free, the defensive perks as a cost. Okay, I see. When attacking, they get 150% attack. Whenever guard is activated, they get attack and defense up by 50%, up to 200%. Okay, so anytime they're hit with their guard up, they're gonna get buffed up a little bit more. When there is another planetary destruction category ally attacking the same turn, 20% damage reduction, and additional damage reduction up by 20% when there is another space traveling warrior category ally attacking the same turn. So if you run them, let's say slot 1, turn 1, they're going to have 25, 45, 65, 85% damage reduction on turn 1. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then without that, after that first turn, they go down to, you run them in slot 1, 20%, 40, 60. If you run them in slot 2 or 3, you'll get 10, 30, 50. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they look fine too, I think, especially for like what they are, right? They're support banner characters that are meant to help out Turles, meant to help out the team, and I think they do well, especially with this first line here, giving all these buffs, the attack, defense, the extra key, the crit chance is very good. And then they've got some survivability here with the guard, the damage reduction, and these stipulations would be very hard to hit with other Turleses on the team. So yeah, I think they look fine. Raise defense for 4 turns on super and cause supreme damage, and great chance to seal super attacks. Okay, So they're also raising their defense, like pseudo stacking for 4 turns on super. And they're going to super, what, 1, call it 2, maybe 3 times. But yeah, I think they look fine, man. I think this batch looks pretty good. Like, these are good support characters for what they need to be for Turles. And I think Turles himself looks very good. And I mean, you run him on this team he's meant to be run on, right? With the Metal Cooler Army, with the LR Turles, like, they're going to look very, very powerful. Like, Terrifying Conquerors is becoming a very good category right now. And you add in, like, these guys helping out Space Traveling Warriors as well is another very good one. So, dude, I'm telling you, man, we are really gearing up for a crazy villain team. Like, this villain team is actually looking really good. And I have a very strong feeling that we're going to get an even more powerful, like, villain team very soon. Like, these guys are really, really building that up. And it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. But I mean, these guys, even like, if you have like a new LR Turles, like, this dude is already giving 4-turn support for Space Traveling Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors, Planetary Destruction. So he's already given that 4-turn support there. Then once he pops the Tree of Might and you go into this, Space Traveling Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors getting an extra 15% attack and defense, plus another 10% attack and defense for Planetary Destruction. All 3 of these EZAs just got even stronger with that domain up. So, because they fall under all the categories. So they're going to be very good. And then not to mention, like, Turles, like, I don't even think we mentioned his active. Like, he's got an active skill, which the condition won't change with the EZA, but this can be activated when there's a Goku's family category enemy or an enemy whose name includes Gohan, starting from the 3rd turn from start of battle, or the 6th turn for free. And this greatly raise attack temporarily, cause ultimate damage to the enemy. And you got to think, this guy is no longer just stacking attack, he's greatly stacking his attack. So with all these chances to do more and more supers, the more lucky you get with the more supers he launches, the harder this boy is going to hit, and the harder this active skill is going to hit. So I think he looks good. I think these guys all look good. I'm very much looking forward to them. And yeah, I think they're coming very soon. So he's got the details today, the upcoming content announcement today. I would assume data download tomorrow, probably. We'll see, either tomorrow or the day after. And then they're going to be here like the middle end of this week. So yeah, this team's about to get really nutty. Really nutty, and I'm very much excited for it. So that's gonna do it with this video today. If you guys did stick around to the end, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of the EZA details here for the physical Dokkan Fest Turles, the Diaz and Cacao, and the Almond and Raisin support units. I think they all look very good. I think they all look like exactly what they need to be and exactly what they need to do for the team, and I am very much looking forward to running them and trying out some new team combinations with these guys too. So be on the lookout for that. I will make a like team build for these guys and kind of see like where they fit the best, but we'll see, man. I want to see how well these guys play in game. I do. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.